What's up, everybody? We are live. We have a card tomorrow. This is the latest we've ever done a podcast, but we had to do it this week. We have Overeem versus Sakai. Great card. Before we talk about tomorrow's card, let's talk about a little recap of last week's card. Keldon, what's up, my man? How did you do last card?
Oh man, I had a pretty good one last card. It was a nice little 2-0 sweep. I was pretty solid in both my spots, and they both came through for me. So looking forward to talking about them.
That's good, man. We'll do a quick recap real quick, and then we'll talk about the contender series. Main event: Ratchet versus Anthony Smith. I mean, we both picked Ratchet. Ratchet went out there and dominated him. I don't think he should get a title shot, like he said, but yeah, we'll see where he goes. I hope he fights Prochaska. That'd be a great fight. But yeah, Smith is pretty washed up. I don't know where he goes from here. Co-main event: Magny versus Wahlberg. That was my losing better than night. Wahlberg looked really fucking washed up, and he had a very bad game plan. I thought that he was going to go out there and try to knock him out. I didn't know he was going to go out there and try to wrestle Magny. Bad game plan. I hope they book Magny versus Jeff Neal because I'm sure a lot of people out there, including us, think that's easy money. I don't know what line we would get, but yeah, I got Neal all day. I got Jeff Neal all day. But yeah, next fight, Grasso versus Kim. Don't care about it. It is what it is. Grasso got to win. Next fight. Next fight, Lamas versus Aljo. Good fight, dude. Aljo definitely looked a lot better than what he did on Contender Series in the tape. But also, you can say that Lamas is pretty washed up. He did say that he's gonna retire, or I mean, he might have one more fight. I don't know if you agree with this, but Ryan Hall would have submitted him pretty early in the first round, in my opinion. And I was going to bet Ryan Hall pretty big, so kind of sucks that fell through. But yeah, Lamas to show of himself. He's washed up. Aljo really is not a good striker, man. I mean, Aljo hurt him, and that was a close fight. Obviously, Lamas won, but Lamas fucking was, dude. Aljo was putting him in some bad spots in that fight. Let's be honest. Next fight, this is a fucking big fight for both of us. Impa versus Patolo. I had a winning night because of Impa plus 1.20 on the night. Impa just showed that he's the real deal, man. I mean, he's green, but he's the future of the division. I feel like he's going to be a top 10 guy, maybe even farther than that. He keeps growing. He keeps looking good every fight. I mean, I personally thought he was going to go out there and grapple Patolo, but he actually went out there and outstruck him on the feet and won every round. He looked really good in the feet. He called out fucking Vittori, and I mean, I don't know, man. I wasn't high on Vittori in the beginning, but now I am, and I think Vittori's could be a fucking top 10, maybe even farther than that guy. And calling out a guy like that's a lot of balls. I don't think they should give it to him, though. They should give him Jordan Wright or someone like that, someone they could style on. Next fight, Cumming versus Italy. I feel, man, for my boy Italy, man. Personally, I think he was winning that fight until he got that fucking hurt with that head kick. And the one thing about Italy, man, he's just low volume, dude. Like, he comes out really strong in the first round, then he just stops fighting. I don't know what's up with him. But props to Cummings, man. Cummings is a tough fucking journeyman, man. Good job for Cummings. Next fight, Troy versus Springer. Damn, man, Weaver's on quite of a roll. I think he's won 4 of his last 5 fights, man. Yeah, he needs to get some respect, man. I mean, no one thought that Weaver went out there and tapped him out. I mean, damn, dude, that was a really sick transition too, man. How they fucking jumped on his back. Dude, Caceres has been looking good, man. He needs to get a step up. Like, give him the fucking Chikazi fight. Give him like a pretty good, like, give him fucking Joanna Rosa. I mean, dude, that's a really good fight. No, low key, that's a good fight. I mean, give him the winner of fucking Shane Young versus Nate Landwehr. I mean, that'd be a good fight. Next fight, Sean Brady versus Christian Aguilera. Yeah, I don't think Aguilera is really that good, man. I don't know how many fights he's going to win in the UFC, but I do think that Brady is a good fighter. I just think he needs to get a big step up. I'm tired of him fighting these fucking guys like Faradiev and Aguilera. Give him a fucking good fighter, man. Like, give him like a Randy Brown or give him someone like right outside that top 15 because he can compete with these guys. I mean, I know that I'm not a big – I mean, I'm a huge fucking hater on Neil Magny. I don't think he's that – I really think that he's overrated and shit. I think Brady would beat him right now all day. Give Brady a guy up there, please. Polyana Viana versus Whitmire, fucking Emily Quitmire. I mean, oh my God, dude. Like, a lot of people were high on Whitmire, and I picked her to win, but I could not bet on her. I know that she, man, it's mental with her, dude. I mean, she's big for the division. She was looking good in the first minute, but I don't know what's up with her, man. She's been tapped out 4 times. She quits, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, you're going out there and losing to Viana, dude. Viana's fucking trash, man. So, congrats to Viana. I want to see where she goes from here. But wow, dude, Whitmire, dude, I don't know, man. What's up with her? And then the last fight, Mary Martin versus Cyphers. Whoa, that's all I'm gonna say, because all you guys out there that bet on Mary Martin, fucking, I know a lot of people, and I know some people that went big on her. You guys were shitting your fucking self, because Cyphers almost knocked her out, dude. And I like Mallory Martin too, but when I watched that, I was like, what the hell, dude? You're almost getting knocked out by Cyphers. But you got to give Mallory credit, man. Really tough girl, dude. The way that she fucking dug deep and then she tapped Cyphers out in the second round, that was impressive, man. So congrats to Martin. Cyphers, she's not UFC material. They actually might give her one more fight, I feel like, in the UFC, because she takes a lot of fights on short notice. So we'll recap real quick. Yeah. Winning night, I'm on a 4-card winning streak, including Contender Series. Congrats to Jimmy Flick. He also cashed for us. Yeah, he looked really good. I can't wait to see how Flick does in UFC. Kelton, tell us the recap.
Yeah, man, this was a really good card. So Rakic, he came out, did exactly what he needed to do against Anthony Smith. You know, he even got 130-26. So I mean, going out there and 30-26ing a guy like Anthony Smith, that's definitely a nice little feather in the cap for Rakic. And I see he's ranked inside the top 5 now, which is it's interesting, man, because although I do think Rakic is a great fighter, I don't know if I have him in that top 5 personally. I don't know if I put him up there with Dominic Reyes, Jan Blachowicz, Yuri Prokazka. Like, I don't have Rakic up there with those guys, in my opinion. So it's going to be real interesting to see who he gets matched up with next. But yeah, all the props to him in the world for winning this fight. Anthony Smith is no slouch whatsoever. Neil Magny, 30-27s across the board on Robbie Lawler. Pretty much went exactly like I thought it would. I almost bet Magny by decision. Kind of salty I didn't know, but I mean, I can't be too salty. I had a great night, but yeah, Robbie Lawler is just yeah. He's washed, let's be honest. And I mean, you don't want to be washed fighting a guy like Neil Magny, Neil Magny brings so many problems to the table, and it's weird to say that he brings so many problems to the table just because, like, he's not very dangerous, you know, like, he doesn't have big power. He doesn't have, like, real dangerous jiu-jitsu. It's just real workman qualities, and if you're not at the top of your game, Neil Magny's just gonna like toy with you all night long, and that's almost what he was doing here to Robbie Lawler. So props to Neil Magny. Looking forward to seeing who he gets next. Justin mentioned Jeff Neal. I'd be all over Jeff Neal there personally. I'd agree with him. Lexa Grasso versus Jian Kim, man. Interesting fight that all 3 judges scored it 30-27. I thought Jian Kim won the first round. I thought she started strong. She looked like the much bigger fighter. Big reach advantage. Her sharps just looks, her strikes look sharper. Like, then that second round hits and Grasso starts putting it together, completely dominated the last 10 minutes of that fight. So props to her for moving up a weight class, getting a win over, not the greatest, but not the worst girl in the world. Ricardo Lamas versus Bill Algeo. Not only was this my favorite fight of the night, guys, like, this was one of my favorite fights of the year. Big props to, both of them. Ricardo Lamas, he got a 29-27, all 3 judges across the board. So 10-8 round, along with winning 2 of the 3 rounds. Algeo had his moments. He rocked Lamas real bad with a knee. It's funny. I even said on the podcast, I'm like, don't be surprised if Bill Algeo comes out here and rocks Lamas with some kind of random knee or something. And that's exactly what happened. He just wasn't able to, finish the job. Like, he ain't, Shane Burgos. He ain't freaking Josh Emmett. Like, he's not that kind of finisher, man. So, like, it doesn't really surprise me that Lamas won this fight. He was probably, easy money in the long run. Obviously on DraftKings, I believe he was the highest scoring fighter on DraftKings. Got like 120, something like that. Like, big time fight for him. He wants to hang it up. I don't blame him. If he wants to come back, at least fight like Bill Algeo level guys or other older fighters. Because, you can tell Lamas is extremely chinny, and it's not going to go well against real dudes. So, Impa Kasanganai, Maki Patolo. This was a big one. I had 4 units on Impa, minus 125. Yeah, I'm with Justin on this one. I didn't think if this fight stayed standing for 15 minutes that Impa would win so dominantly, and he did, man. He was given 30-27s across the board. First round was a little sketchy, not gonna lie. Like that first 2 minutes, the way it was looking, like I don't know, man. When Mackie has a full tank of gas, like he's dangerous in there, man, and he'll throw some big shit. He was landing some, big stuff on Impa. Impa just ate it, no problem. And I mean, we were right in the fact that we thought the fight would get better for Impa the further it went along, which absolutely that's how it went. I mean, the further this fight went, the better Impa looked, and you gotta love fighters like that. But it's safe to say that Impa Kasangane is a little bit of a slow starter, so it's going to be interesting to see how that progresses in the future. Like if he fights a real fast starter, higher quality fighter than Maki Patola. But anyway, yeah, man, his striking just looks super sharp. This guy, I mean, he's growing so much every fight, which is insane. I think he's 8-0 now. So yeah, Impa Kasangane already calling out Marvin Vettori too. Like this dude's a huge player at middleweight. So yeah, Zach Cummings, Alessio Di Chirico. Jeez, man. I mean, Justin pretty much said it. Did Chirico, like that first round, like I'm thinking, whoa, like I should have bet him. He's looking great. He was actually throwing. He was throwing heat too. Just looked like a better athlete than Zach Cummings. Like I'm not sure what the live line was after round one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Di Chirico was like -300, -400 after round one, and then he just fucking slows down, man, and Cummings starts landing the better of the shots. And then third round, it's a little better for Di Chirico. I'd say Di Chirico was even winning the round. He started throwing a little bit more. He kind of realized, hey, I just lost the second round, so I got to fucking win this round now. And props to him. He started throwing a little more, and then, he gets dropped with a fucking kick at the last second. That pretty much loses him the fight. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of the story of Di Chirico's UFC career. A little bit of a letdown, which I don't know. Like I've gone back and forth with this guy, whether I think, just how good he is in general. And I feel like he has potential. Di Chirico could win some fights. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it's mental with him. And then Alex Caceres, Austin Springer, easy work for Alex Caceres. I mean, on the podcast, I'm never going to pick Austin Springer in a UFC fight for a reason. The guy is terrible, but everyone just wanted to keep bringing up the Giga Chikadze win all week long. So yeah. And then Sean Brady. I took Sean Brady inside the distance at +210. And this is another one where my read didn't exactly go like accordingly, but I cashed it, man. Like I thought Sean Brady was going to come out here and style on Christian Aguilera on the feet. Aguilera showed a lot of durability issues on the regional scene. Sean Brady, he's got some underrated power. I was thinking he was the way better striker, but Aguilera was looking a little better on the feet than I thought he would. And then the second round hits, Sean Brady gets it to the mat. Sean Brady proves that he is the much more superior grappler. Gets the guillotine choke. Choked him dead, man. That was pretty nasty. Sean Brady, 13-0 now. I mean, this guy's the real. He's got to get some bigger fights than Christian Aguilera now, because I can see Sean Brady competing with the top 25 of the division, honestly. So, yeah, I was able to, cash 6.3 units on that. So, yeah, that was a nice one. And then Polyana Viana versus Emily Quitmeyer. That was oh, man. I mean, that fight kind of went exactly how I thought it would. I mean, in a sense that Emily Whitmire was able to get the takedown. It was looking good for a minute there. She got on top, was going to hunt for subs. And then, I mean, did she not learn her lesson from, like, previously in her career? Like, I don't know, man. Just low-level garbage. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Polyana Viana is going to be faded hard in the future. Emily Whitmire will be faded hard in the future if she even still has a job. So, yeah. And then the next one, this shit's not much better. Mallory Martin and Hannah Cyphers. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, did anybody think Hannah Cyphers was going to be able to beat the shit out of Mallory Martin that badly on the feet? Like, that was, dude, I mean, oh my God. She didn't even just rock her. Like, she was beating her ass on the feet. Like, she was winning the striking exchanges. She rocked her, and then she's teeing off on her for like the next 2-3 minutes, however long it was. And Hannah Cyphers, she's a girl that's on like a 3 or 4 losing streak. She sees that she rocks her opponent, and she just gets excited and goes for the finish real hard, like uses all her energy. And then second round starts, and I mean, it's not good news for Hannah Cyphers, because not only is she gassed, she gets taken into the grappling realm where, I mean, let's be honest, she fucking sucks. And Mallory Martin, she got the job done. She's an all right grappler, but man, I'm not high in Mallory Martin at all. I think she's going to be faded in the future, to be honest. So yeah, overall, really good card, except for those first 2 chick fights. And looking forward to this one, man, because I think this card arguably might be a little better.
Yeah, man. We'll talk about that Jimmy Flick bet that we both cashed on real quick.
Oh, yeah, bro. Oh, you want me to talk about it? Yeah, man. Like, I moved in on Jimmy Flick plus 155. I saw he opened plus 165, and this was before I even looked into the fight. I just saw those odds, and I knew of Jimmy Flick. Like, I didn't, I probably have seen like one fight from him, like way back in the day in LFA or something. And then I see him plus 155 against a 6-0 guy. So I immediately have to check out this 6-0 guy, because like, why is he minus 200 over, Jimmy Flick's a vet. I believe he has 20 pro fights, LFA world champion. So I'm thinking this kid better be fucking special to be minus 200 over Jimmy Flick. And, I liked what I saw at first, to be honest. Like, he's definitely doing a good job crushing, some real low level fighters at the beginning of his career. And then I think it was his last fight, he fought like a 2-1 guy, or I can't even remember the record of the guy, but trash fighter. That trash fighter was able to take down Nate Smith, take his back. Wasn't a good look. And I'm here thinking, okay, if this guy, this jobber, can take down Nate Smith one fight ago, take his back one fight ago, what do you think Jimmy fucking Flick is going to do? So, he came out of there, did his thing. Second round was a little scary because Nate Smith actually locked in a triangle choke. And he had it locked in for like a good minute or so. And then in the third round on the feet, Nate Smith landed a really fucking hard front kick, but Jimmy Flick just ate it like it was nothing. So really admirable performance from both. I'm glad Dana White is planning on bringing back Nate Smith, because like, Nate Smith is a prospect. It just happens that he ran into Jimmy Flick, who, he's going to be a problem in the flyweight division. So yeah, props to Smith for surviving, 12, 13 minutes of sub attempts, landing a big strike, locking in a sub of his own. But Jimmy Flick was too much. Cash the dog money. What do you think of it, bro?
Yeah, I think that 125 is the weight class for him, because he's been knocked out, I think, like 3 or 4 times at 135. I mean, the Gutierrez fight, it was, he got hurt the weight kicks, but yeah, 125 is the weight class, man. I mean, he showed that he has a good chin at 125. He doesn't, I don't know, he looks like a big fucking flyweight, dude. At 135, he seems a little small. So, yeah, I'm excited to see who he fights. I mean, I'm sure me and you would fucking bet him versus Tim Elliott all day if they fought right now. I mean, he would be, I could see him beating quite a few guys at 125, but good performance, and he looked great. Yeah, man, without further ado, let's fucking dive in this card. So first fight of the night, we got the Coltrane Cole Smith versus Hunter Azure. I'm going to let you go first with this one.
Yeah, interesting fight. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Hunter Azure is the biggest betting favorite on the card. Him and Kellher are about the same, minus 225, minus 230. But yeah, man, I think this line's accurate. I'm not high on Cole Smith at all. Like, even, I mean, he's only had 2 UFC fights just like Azure, but like the 2 fights he had, Mitch Gagnon, like, I think I bet Cole Smith in that fight, if I'm not mistaken, just because like Mitch Gagnon is one of the biggest fades in the last 5 years, just because like the layoffs, and he's a fucking jobber and whatnot. And Cole Smith was able to come out there and win that fight. But like, oh my God, Mitch Gagnon, he was rocking him on the feet. He had moments on the mat. Here I'm thinking like, All right. I'm glad Cole Smith won me this bet and everything, but the fact that he just had a fight like that with Mitch Gagnon, like, yeah, I'm gonna be staying away from this guy in the future. And then he fights Miles Johns, who, in my opinion, I think at this point Miles Johns has been proven to not be the greatest fighter in the world. Like he's pretty average. Like he's a decent athlete. He's an all right wrestler. He can box. Like Miles Johns is an all right fighter. I see a lot of people thinking that Cole Smith got robbed in that fight, but I scored it for Miles John. I thought he proved he was, clearly the better fighter. Like, I don't know, like watching tape on Cole Smith, I'm not impressed by him anywhere. Like, I think his striking is bad. His wrestling is okay. His jiu-jitsu isn't really that great. You know what his biggest attribute is, right? It's his size. The dude is one of the biggest bantamweights in the division. I'm worried that he might be able to do a little bit to Azure, what he did to Johns, and use his size, push him up against the cage, maybe get a takedown or two, maybe land a big shot on the feet even. I mean, Azure's chin has got to be a worry. He just got put out cold by Brian Kellher, 4 months ago or so, but I don't know. I don't think there's too much of a knockout threat here. And even when it comes to the clinching and the takedowns, Azure's got that wrestling background, man. I mean, I know he struggled a little bit against Brad Katona. He was taken down by Brad Katona, but might be crazy to say, but I actually think Brad Katona might be a better fighter than Cole Smith. I'm low on Cole Smith, man, and I see a lot of people taking the shot on him here, but I'll be honest. I think Azure, I mean, without a doubt in my mind, like, he's better everywhere in this fight. It's just the size. So I'm going to go with Azure. I'm going to say he wins a clean-cut 30-27 decision. It's just don't get knocked out by something stupid. Don't get pressed up against the cage for 2 rounds, and you should win this fight. So I'll go with Azure decision.
This is a really close fight, man. I'm having a tough time with this one. I actually do think that Cole Smith beat Miles Johns. I do think that Hunter Azure is the better striker. I think that he has a good right hand. I think that he was busting up Kellher until he got knocked out. He has a better wrestling here, but like you mentioned, Katona took him down, and if Katona can take him down, I think Cole Smith can take him down. I think Cole Smith actually has a really good back take too, and like you said, he's big. He has good cardio too. And one thing about Cole Smith is that he fucking is relentless, man. He pressures you. He's a dog. I actually think he's no slouch. I don't think he's a bad fighter. And I mean, Hunter Azure, I was high on him, like we both were, coming from Contender Series. But I mean, if you watch the fights with Katona, man, I mean, uneventful, man. I mean, I got lucky to cash that bet. And then versus Kellher, man. I mean, losing a guy like Kellher like that, get knocked out. Like, no offense, Kellher is no slouch, but I mean, that's kind of embarrassing, dude, to get knocked out against Kellher. And then, I mean, Cole Smith's not a good striker. I'll admit he's not. Like, Azure's a better striker. It's just I don't trust the guy's chin. I mean, I don't think Cole will hurt him, but I actually think Cole can get him down, man. I really do because, like I mentioned, if Tony can do it, Cole Smith can do it. I think Cole Smith has better cardio too. Azure has a lot of muscle, and Cole Smith does not get tired, dude. So I'm gonna go with the dog here, man. I'm gonna go with Cole Smith with a very close split decision, but I can't bet it, man. I really can't. Next fight, damn, that's a good fight. We got fucking Lima versus Alexander Romanov. This is a fight that I actually really want to bet on, but personally, I can't, especially with the line. I mean, Romanov was minus 105 at one point. I know he was plus money at one point, like for a little bit, but he was minus 105, and then he got steamed to minus 145. And I can't bet him at that. I can't, man. I mean, Lima, man, as much as we like to like joke about the guy and say that he's a quitter and he has no cardio and stuff, and he has no ground game, which he doesn't. I mean, he does not have cardio. He does not have a ground game. Let's be honest, though. He fucking hits like a truck, dude. Like, this guy fucking is a KO artist. He's kill or be killed. He has good pressure. He actually has jiu-jitsu as well, but I just think that Romanov is going to be able to take him down at will and probably keep him down there. But it's a sketchy fight, man, because Romanov really hasn't fought anyone. And let's be honest, his cardio is not that good either. He's only been out the first a couple times, and he's gassed, man. Like, you watch the tape on him, he slows down too. I mean, he has a sumo background. His striking is not that good. He has good pressure though. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if Lima beat him, man. I mean, I kind of like Lima, like striking wise. Like, dude, really good fucking right hand. He throws heat, man. It's just Oh, he has good kicks too. So I mean, he could definitely chop down Romanov's kicks, but I mean Romanov's legs. But if he does, he can get taken down. I just think that Romanov can go out there and get him out of there, man, on the map. But I can't bet him at that line. I really can't. And he has a good chin, but like we talked about off air, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Romanov got knocked out here. I mean, I actually thought Pereira would have beat him, but that's a different matchup. De Lima is a guy that comes really out of the gate the first round and gasses, but. Yeah, man, I got to go with Romanov here with the first round submission. But if this fight gets out of the first round, it's gonna get hairy, man. Because both these guys slow down, and I mean, it would not surprise me if Romanov got knocked out here early. So I got Romanov, but I'm passing. What about you?
Yeah, I agree with you for the most part. I mean, I'm going to go with Romanov. Like, I'm picking Romanov here. I actually think the line has been moving the right way. Like, I'd cap him at minus 150 pretty comfortably. It's just, yeah, obviously there's no value in the line anymore. De Lima has a path to victory. He is not only is he a scary striker with big power, I also think he's been, I think he's been looking better at heavyweight personally. Like, obviously the Stefan Struve fight was like a horrible look because he basically quit and got subbed by a guy who has been on the verge of retirement for like 5 years now. So like, not a good look. But to be fair, he was dominating that Struve fight before he lost. But yeah. And if you look at Romanov's record, he's 11-0, and that's all good and everything. But he actually has been knocked out twice before. He got knocked out amateur MMA in 2011, and he actually got knocked out all the way back in 2006 when he was 15 years old in an amateur kickboxing bout. But yeah, those are the last times he got knocked out. Hasn't got knocked out since, so props to him. But like, yeah, if you look into it, he's fighting some real, shoddy fighters. Like that scene he's fighting on definitely is not the greatest. I actually heard somebody called this dude Russian on their podcast this week. He is not Russian. He is Moldovan. He has not been fighting on the Russian scene. Like, this isn't some Russian prospect, guys. This I know that makes a difference to some people, and yeah, I don't know. Romanov should win this fight. Like, if you think about it, he really is like a nightmare matchup for De Lima because De Lima gasses. De Lima can get taken down, and De Lima quits on the ground. So it's like, if Romanov gets one takedown, I don't know, like that could just completely zap the energy out of De Lima, and it's just going to be, it's not going to get better from there. Like, as soon as De Lima starts to see some adversity, that's when it's not going to go well for him, man. I mean, he's a front runner. That's exactly what he is. So I'm going to go with Romanov. I think he eats a big shot like in the first minute or so, gets smart, takes him down, wears him out. And then in that second round, I think he feasts on him and gets I'll say a TKO ground and pound stoppage in round 2.
Yeah, Romanov hasn't fought since February 2019, so that's a little concerning right there. I mean, De Lima is definitely more active, but then when you look at the stats, De Lima has like 36% takedown defense. So, I mean, he's probably going to get taken down, and Romanov's really relentless. But if they strike and Romanov like trades in the pocket with him, he's getting knocked out because I don't care what anyone says. As much as we joke around about De Lima, he's a fade and all that stuff. He hits like a truck. He hits hard. The guy fucking is explosive at heavyweight, dude. So. I mean, he's been looking good at heavyweight besides this fucking quit job against Struve. I fucking bet the Lima there, and it's fucking embarrassing. But I mean, he dominated Weiserick. He fucking proved that fucking Ben Sosoli does not belong in the UFC. I mean, that was a legit fucking knockout, dude. It wouldn't surprise me if he knocked him out here. So I got Romanov with the win, but I kind of want De Lima to win, man. I mean, I kind of like De Lima, dude. So next fight we got I mean both these girls are legit fucking hot. I mean both these girls are like two of the hottest girls in the UFC. We got fucking Viviana Araujo versus Montana De La Rosa. Kelvin, who you got?
Oh man, I'm definitely not going to disagree with that comment you made. That's for sure. And it's going to be a good fight too, man. I like what these girls bring to the table. I mean, you got a pretty much a pure striker versus grappler here. Viviane Araujo. She came into the UFC real fucking hot, man. She came in against Talita Bernardo on like 2 days' notice, knocked her out cold. And like, yeah, she got a lot of hype. She fought Alexis Davis. Like, yeah, she dominated that fight, but there was a sketchy moment or two on the mat I didn't like. And then against Jessica I, you know, she comes out so fucking strong, and then she fades away. And the girl who missed weight was able to take over in the later rounds. I don't know, man. I know a lot of people, you know, they'll joke on Jessica I, whatnot. Like, her UFC record's not the greatest. She just lost again against Cynthia Calvillo, but like, I think that was a really tough fight for Viviane Araujo because, like, I mean, before that Jessica I fight, I mean, we're talking about a girl with less than 10 pro fights. You're stepping up against, at the time, Jessica I was ranked number 1 in the world. Jessica I missed weight. I mean, it was kind of a discipline issue with her pacing in that first round. Like, it wasn't a cardio problem; it was a pacing problem. Like, she came out way too hard in that first round, and this is a mistake that can be easily fixed. And I feel against Montana De La Rosa, Viviane Araujo has a massive striking advantage here, in my opinion. And if she's able to stuff the takedown, it's going to look real fucking easy, in my opinion. It's just, that's a big if. Is she going to be able to stuff? Like, Montana De La Rosa, like, I don't think the world of her, but like, she can go out there and land a takedown or two. She can go out there and lock up a sub. Like, her jiu-jitsu is not bad at all. It's just, I think she's outclassed here, man. I think Viviane Araujo is the right favorite. I think where it's sitting now, what is it, like minus 175? Yeah, I mean, I could see it being anywhere between minus 175 to minus 200, somewhere in that range. So, yeah, not enough value for me to bet it, but I can solidly pick Araujo here, and I'll say she wins. I'll say she wins a 29-28 decision. I'll say Montana gets her down one round, but the other two will clearly go to Vivi.
Yeah, man. Montana's been improving because a couple fights ago, she was going out there and having a very close fight with fucking Ostovich, and I didn't think that she was going to be anything after that performance. And then after that, she's been improving. She smoked Nadia Casson, which she should do. She had a close fight with KGB. I had a bet on KGB, and that was a close fight, man. I mean, I think they scored it all 3 rounds for KGB, but I actually thought that was like fucking 29-28. I mean, it was close. And then Montana looked really good against fucking Barella last fight. Yeah, like you mentioned, I feel like that Araujo definitely has a better striking. I think that she has a better ground game, but I think that Montana has a better wrestling. I actually think that Montana has a better cardio. I mean, we have seen fucking Araujo gas. I mean, she has that really good movement, and she slowed down against I. I mean, that was a 1-1 fight going in the 3rd round, and I got it. But I's a really fucking big girl, man, for 125. She really is. And I's striking's improved a lot. I used to fucking say that it was a joke. It's improved for sure. I mean, definitely training a fucking extreme couture has helped her. But in this matchup, I just got to go with the better striker. And I think that if Montana gets her down, I mean, Araujo could actually get a submission too. I mean, Araujo's good, man. I mean, she really is. She's a top girl at 125. Montana's been improving, though, and it would not surprise me at all if Montana got a win because Montana's been putting work at Elevation Fight Team. So she finally fucking got out of that fucking bad gym that she was training at in Texas with her fucking terrible fucking husband. Yeah, man, I got my girl Rajal here, and I'm going to go with a decision win. So next fight, this is probably one of the best fights on the card, I believe. Like, this fucking card, this fight's, oh my God, man. We got fucking Bartosz Fabinski versus Andre Muniz. And, dude, this is a tough fight, man. I mean, this is a really close fight for me to call, too. I'm going back and forth. I do think that Muniz is live, 100%. I think he's a live dog. I think that, you know, he has really good fucking advantages in this fight. Like, obviously, he has the better ground game. He has really good jiu-jitsu. Obviously, Fabinski's going to give him everything that, you know, Muniz wants because all Fabinski is a one-dimensional fucking wrestler. I mean, he's going to go out there and take Muniz down, and that's what Muniz wants. Muniz is the better striker on the feet, for sure. I mean, he has a better ground game. He has better jiu-jitsu. He's a bigger dude. But I got to go for Fabinski here, man. I mean, the guy is no fucking slouch. I used to fucking think this guy sucked and all this stuff. And then, I mean, he's improved. And, I mean, he's fucking a tough dude to fight, man. I mean, one thing about Fabinski is he doesn't look that big for 185, but when he fought at 170, he's like one of the biggest welterweights. And at 185, he's like probably in the normal. Darren Stewart is one of the biggest fucking middleweights out there in the UFC. And Fabinski looked way smaller than him. Fabinski's so strong. He just doesn't look that assuming, but once he gets on top, dude, like, you don't get up, dude. I mean, he smothers you on the mat. He's really fucking good top control. that's what I think he does with Muniz. I think that he's going to take down Muniz, and I think Muniz will have him in trouble with some spots on the mat, maybe put him some fucking tough submission attempts. But I just think Fabinski smothers him, man, for 3 rounds. I really do. He's relentless. He has a good chin. He knows what he's good at. He knows his striking is not that good, but he's just so tough. I heard people talk about that he got knocked out against Pereiras. No, he didn't. He got dropped and he got tapped out. So this guy's chin's legit. And Muniz, I don't think can hurt him on the feet. Like I mentioned, Muniz is the better striker, but yeah, man, I just think Fabinski's gonna fucking put him in the clinch, take him down, and just wear him out. And one thing about Muniz that I don't like, I mean, number one, he has a really bad chin. That doesn't matter in this matchup at all. But one thing I don't like about him is cardio, dude. He has really bad cardio. He flops to his back. And yeah, he's a legit fucking black belt, and he could definitely tap out Fabinski. It wouldn't surprise me. And that's why I'm saying he's a live dog. But I just think Fabinski's really unassuming, man. But he's so fucking strong, man. He really is. He's not the biggest middleweight, but he's a problem, man. I feel like he's going to beat a lot of guys at 185, man, because he's that game. He's just so fucking good on top, and he smothers you, and he's strong, and his top control is good, and he wins a lot of decisions. And you have to get him out of there to beat him, man. You really do, man. Because if you look at his record when it goes to the decision, man. I mean, he wins most of the fights when it goes to decision. So I got Fabinski winning decision here, man. I just think that he's too good, man, on top, and the wrestling's going to be a factor. So, and it wouldn't surprise me if Muniz took him down too. I was thinking about that. But I think Fabinski could actually sweep him and get on top. And I actually think Fabinski's the better grappler, man. I really do. So I got Fabinski, and I got him with a decision win. What about you?
You said Fabinski's the better grappler, like as in BJJ?
No, I just think like wrestling wise. Like I feel like
of course.
Muniz is a better jiu-jitsu. I mean, Fabinski's not going to tap him out, but I actually think one thing I want to mention real quick. I actually think Fabinski actually might fucking land some really tough elbows, man. And I know I said I don't think he can knock him out, but actually the more I think about it, I can see him getting a ground and pound TKO because Muniz doesn't have a chin. Fabinski, I mean, his ground and pound's actually pretty good, dude. So I got Fabinski with the decision, but a TKO wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna disagree with you. Just based on the odds, I actually do think it's like a 50-50 fight, man, in my opinion. Like I can see arguments like big time for both sides here. It's just plus 145 now. Muniz is saying that it was plus 140 a second ago, and now it's even higher. And the way I capped this fight, man, like I give Muniz enough of a chance that if he hits plus 150, I think I might have to take it like a 2-unit shot on him. Like I kind of wanted to just stick with the 2 plays I made, but if this line keeps getting crazier, I mean, Barto, okay, it's such an interesting fight. Like stylistically, this is easily the most interesting fight on the card. Like we could talk about this fight all fucking day. We know one thing: Bartos is going to come in. He's going to take down Muniz, and Muniz has no problem being on his back, and like. If you're on the Muniz side, like you can argue, oh, Bartos is just going to go right into Muniz's world. And if you're on Bartos, oh, Muniz is just going to completely accept going right into Bartos's world. Like, it's just real interesting, man. I just see, like, I know you just mentioned Bartos, he could get a ground and pound stoppage. And I guess maybe in like that 3rd round, if Muniz is like really fucking spent. And you're right about the gas tank. Muniz does not have the greatest gas tank. It's just 15 minutes, in my opinion. I think this fight will go 15 minutes if Bartos wins. Like, I don't think he'll get a ground and pound stoppage personally. I guess it's possible, but like he's just going to give Muniz a lot of opportunities at that sub, man. And Muniz has really fucking good jiu-jitsu. On the Contender Series, he's able to, sweep a high-level wrestler and submit him. Now, granted, that guy Taylor Johnson, that high-level wrestler I'm talking about, that guy was 5-0. Bartos has, probably like 20 pro fights, maybe more. Yeah, it's just hard to say, man. It's really fucking hard to say who's going to win this fight. But, yeah, I just think Muniz will eventually get on top, eventually take his back, land something, or even on the feet, man. I feel like he has an advantage on the feet. He's much bigger. Maybe he could land something on Bartos. Like, I don't know. Bartos has a lot of holes in his game. Like, what he does, like, He's really fucking good at what he does. It's just a BJJ guy as high level as Muniz is not who you want to fight with that style. And let's be honest, I mean, I know he just beat Darren Stewart, but Bartos is a 170er and Muniz is a full-bodied 185-pounder. Might make a difference in a fight this close. You never know. You got to really look at every little detail. And yeah, so I can see Bartos coming out here, playing it safe in the first round, like really trying his best just to avoid the subs and stay on top, land an elbow every fucking 45 seconds and, slowly wear Muniz down. Second round's going to be a little easier when Muniz is tired. Third round might be a real, cruising round for Bartos if Muniz is completely spent. So I won't be surprised at all to see Bartos ride this one out, clear 30-27 decision, but you're going to give my BJJ guy here 15 minutes to find a sub. I like his chances at the current odds, so I'll go with Muniz. I don't know if I'm going to bet it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. So, fuck, dude. We have my fucking first play of the night, man. We have first fight of the main card. We have Jalen Turner versus Thiago Moises. We fucking steam the fuck out of that line, man. I mean, I have 3 units on Turner at plus 160. He's my only play. I mean, I just think I'm gonna bet him, honestly. That's one bet on the card as of right now. But yeah, man, I think that he has a really good matchup here. I think he's been improving too. I know that he's been fighting fucking low level guys in Harry Potter and fucking Josh Kolba, who's gonna get absolutely fucking destroyed by my fucking boy Air Jordan. But anyways, back in this matchup. Turner is so much better on the feet here, man. Moises threw 2 strikes against Michael Johnson. Moises he gets backed up way too much, man, for my liking. He's not a good striker. He's slow. He has a good chin. I'll give him that. A really good chin. He has a great ground game, a legit fucking black belt on the mat. But Turner's tough to take down, and Turner's huge, man. I mean, to watch the Favola fight, I don't care what anyone says. That was a close fight, and Turner could have won that fight. It's just Favola took him down 4 or 5 times, and he went for the guillotines. Turner's a legit brown belt too, so people act like Moises is gonna take it down and it's over. I don't think so, dude. I mean, Turner, I would not be surprised at all, dude, if Turner held his own on the mat here because he's a legit fucking brown belt out of Carlson Gracie. I mean, I don't think he's a fucking bad guy on the ground at all. It's just a lot of his fights in the early career, he got knocked out and all that stuff. And I mean, we thought maybe he has a bad chin, but I mean, since the Luque fight, his chin's held up. I mean, he was actually beating Luque on the feet. I mean, he was fucking jabbing Luque the fuck up until he got knocked out. I think that he has really good boxing. I think he has really good kicks. He has good knees. His straight left is really nice. He has a great straight right. He's probably the biggest fucking guy at 155. I mean, this guy should fight at 170. I mean, let's be honest, man. He's fucking huge, and he's just so much more athletic. Huge fucking speed advantage here. I mean, I feel like it's a really bad matchup on the feet. I think on the feet, he's just so much better than Moises. It's all if Moises can get him down. I mean, the fight against Michael Johnson, Johnson was fucking him up bad. But then again, how many times has Johnson quit? How many times has Johnson been tapped out? 3,000? I mean, it's not surprising. I mean, how many times has Turner been tapped out? 0. So I really think that this fight hits the mat, it's not over. I think Turner can get back up, and I think Turner's going to hurt him, man, really bad in the feet. And I think that Moises does not belong in the UFC. I don't. His one fight, one win is against fucking Johnson, a huge fucking flake. And then he beat fucking Holloway in a fucking back and forth fight. And Kurt Holloway's not that good. I like Jalen Turner. I think he's been improving a lot. I think if his fucking chin, holds up, I think that he actually could be a really good prospect, man, at 155. And let's be honest, he's one of the best strikers, I feel like, in the division. And the Favola fight, man, he just didn't let himself go. He was looking so good. He hurt Favola with a knee with in the first 30 seconds, and he just backed away, man. I don't know what was up with that performance, but I mean, even with the performance, it's still a close fight. If they rematched, I mean, he would absolutely beat Favola pretty handily, I feel like. But I like what I've been seeing with Turner, and I think that he's a great jab, by the way. I mean, another really good weapon. I mean, his boxing, the jab, the kicks, the knees, he's just so much faster and so much more athletic. And I mean, I just think on the feet, it's a mismatch. So I got Jalen Turner, and I know that a lot of people might disagree with this. I don't think you will, but I think he hands Thiago Moises his first knockout loss, and I got Jalen Turner knocking him out probably in 2 minutes in the first round. Who you got?
Yeah, man, this is a great fight. I like Jalen Turner. I like the potential that he brings to the table. You mentioned it. He's a great athlete, one of the biggest guys in the division. He's young too. He's improving. He trains with really good guys too. Like I know Roosevelt Roberts is like one of his main training partners. It's all good things. Like a real good career trajectory for Jalen Turner. 1-2 out of his last 3. Definitely going in the right direction, man. And he's had all this experience. Made his UFC debut against Vicente Luque, had all these Bellator fights. I mean, shit, dude. Jalen Turner was fighting back in Bellator like over 3 years ago, almost 4 years now. Like he's been around at 25 years old. So I mean, we love experienced young fighters who are great athletes, going to be making improvements. And let's be honest here, and you touched on it. The biggest knock on Jalen Turner is his chin, his tall man's defense. However, in my opinion, this isn't a fight where you really need to fucking worry about that because Thiago Moises is striking not good at all. Clear evidence in the Michael Johnson fight. I mean, it's not very often you see a fight stay standing and the strike count be, what was it? It was like 27-1, I believe, in that first round. Like, really fucking batting. Jalen Turner is a real, fast athlete, a good striker, just like Michael Johnson. Like, he's going to have a good, like, even though he's much bigger than Thiago Moises, like, he's going to have a speed advantage over Thiago Moises, just like Michael Johnson did. And yeah, I just see Jalen Turner getting the way better of the striking exchanges. I can absolutely seeing him knock out Moises, like Justin said. It's just takedown defense as well. You saw takedown Jalen Turner, but in my opinion, like Frivola's has proven to be a pretty solid UFC fighter. And in hindsight, Jalen was what, 23, 24 years old in that fight. And Jalen didn't look terrible in that fight either. Like, he had his moments. Like, it was a close fight. One of the rounds could have arguably gone to Jalen. I think it even did. I think the judges had it 29-28, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, and I was at that fight in ATL. It was a good one, man. Matt Frivola is no slouch. In my opinion, Matt Frivola would probably beat Thiago Moises. It's just, yeah, I don't know about Moises, man. Like, comes in against Beneil Dariush. I mean, complete domination on the mat by Beneil. Hollabaugh, garbage fighter, like awesome. You scrape by a decision against Kurt Hollabaugh. Ismagulov, again, man, complete domination, this time on the feet. So, I mean, we've seen this guy dominate on the mat. We've seen him dominate on the feet. Michael Johnson fight, again, was getting dominated on the feet. And then the grand stunt master of all stunt masters, gets fucking ankle locked in the second round. This line's completely fucking off, guys. It still is. I think it's plus 130 right now. Jalen Turner should be the favorite in this fight, guys. I mean, way, way higher ceiling, better athlete, obviously has a striking advantage. It just comes down to if Thiago Moises can get the takedowns, hold him down, or get a sub. Like Justin mentioned, Jalen's never been subbed. Even if he gets taken down, the guy has super long legs. They don't call him the tarantula for a reason. I know he loves tarantulas and he owns like a bunch of them, but like they call him tarantula for a reason with those long legs. Guy's got a tricky guard. I would imagine it's getting better every time. I would imagine training with Roosevelt Roberts, it's going to get better every time. So I think even if Thiago Moises comes out here and takes him down, Jalen Turner can either A, give him problems down there, or B, get right back up. So I can see Jalen Turner winning a 30-27 decision. I can see him giving Thiago Moises his first knockout loss. So at plus 165, you got to be kidding me. That's a no-brainer. I put 2 units on Jalen Turner. Let's fucking get it.
Yeah, Turner has the better cardio. And another thing, too, I think I touched on it, is that Moises gets backed up every fight, like a lot, like really bad. And Turner has really good pressure, man. I mean, Turner's a headhunter. He goes forward. He's going to back up. I mean, you watch the Michael Johnson fight, dude. Fucking Moises was against the fence the whole time, dude. Like, literally, like, his back was hitting the fence, like, multiple times. Another thing, too, is, one of Turner's main head coaches is fucking Jason Pereira from Michael Bisping. And that's a legit fucking good striking coach. I mean, that's fucking one of Chito Vera's coaches. And let's be honest, Vera's striking's improved a lot, dude, because of him. So a lot of people like to hate on Pereira. I think he's a really good coach. So, yeah, I think Turner's going to really shock some people here and get a really fucking good dominant win.
One more
Next
thing
fight-
One more thing I want to say. He is one of the cheapest fighters on DraftKings this week. He's 7,200. He's right down there with fucking Natividad and De La Rosa. Like Jalen Turner, I mean, he's a guy that's, I mean, there's already value because he's plus 130. Like if you're plus 130, you're usually like 7,700 on DraftKings. So you're already getting that guaranteed line value. The guy is probably going to win 7,200. If you put him in your lineup, I mean, if you put Jalen Turner and one other dog in your lineup, you can basically get whoever else you want in your 4 other slots. So it's like, in my opinion, Jalen Turner is not only the best bet of the week, he's the best DraftKings play of the week because he's so cheap, lots of value. And if he wins, he's probably going to get a finish or land a lot of strikes on Moises. So this is Jalen Turner fight week, boys.
I mean, he has a 5 or 6 inch reach advantage, and let's be honest. I mean, he beat Gabriel Green, he knocked him out, and Gabriel Green is no slouch. I mean, that guy went out there and won a round against Daniel Rodriguez. Between me and you, I mean, we would bet Gabriel Green versus Moises any day of the week. I mean, Gabriel Green is a guy to look out for, man. I mean, that guy's, I can't wait to see it when he comes back. But yeah, people forget about that. The Turner fucking knocked him out cold. Like Turner's a fucking finisher, man. Always wins by finish. But
I remember that.
We saw him. Go ahead.
I used to do a show on my YouTube channel where I'd break down like LFA and Bellator and all that. And I was even breaking down like the prelims, and Jalen Turner and Gabriel Green were in the prelims. And it was the first time I heard about either guy. This is like late 2016 or early 2017. And I saw Gabriel Green's record. I think he was undefeated at the time. If I'm not mistaken, I think Jalen Turner gave him either his first or his second pro loss. And there was no betting odds, and I remember thinking Gabriel Green was going to be the easiest money of all time because Jalen was like 2-2 going into that fight and just got knocked out by like a bum with like another like 2-2 record. And I liked what I saw from Gabriel Green. Like the guy, he's a good striker. I thought he was going to go out there and fucking smoke tall man's defense, Jalen, and then Jalen got that big win. So yeah, again, Jalen's been around for a fucking long time despite being only 25 years old.
A lot of experience, yeah. So next fight, man, we got Brian Boom Kellher versus Kevin Natividad. Yeah, man. Kellher, who you got here?
I'm gonna go with Kellher, man. I think he deserves to, have a minus like 230 behind his name here, in my opinion, because like I like Natividad. I think he has potential. I do think he's UFC ready. I think he's a good fighter, man. I think he'll win fights in the UFC. It's just coming in here short notice. Brian Kellher is no slouch, man. Like I see people, and a lot of people too, and people I respect just completely trash Brian Kellher like he's some kind of joke, like he has no striking, shitty chin, like the guy's super beatable. But like in reality, Brian Kellher is a fucking tough out for anybody. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has one of the tightest squeezes I've ever seen in my life. Nasty guillotine. His striking is not bad at all. Like, he's got good pressure. He's got good hands. Like, I like Kellher on the feet. Like, he's no slouch at fucking all, man. He's got power, too. I mean, we just saw what he did to Azure. The dude can definitely knock you out. Stopped Ode Osborne. He got the guillotine there. Like, he's been coming in here and, stopping prospects, man. And prospects that, in my opinion, like Ode Osborne and Hunter Azure, I view those guys as higher level fighters than Natividad. Natividad is getting this fight because Brian Kellher needed an opponent. All the respect to Natividad. Maybe he can have moments in this fight, but I think when it comes down to it, Kellher will either take over in the later rounds, maybe lock in that guillotine, maybe land a big overhand. I just see Brian Kellher having more ways to win this fight. I think his experience will come into play. I think Natividad taking this on short notice could come into play. I'm a fan of Brian Kellher. I think he will lose a lot of certain matchups, but this should be a good one for him here, man. I'm actually going to say he comes out and finishes the newcomer, teaches him a lesson. I'll say second round sub.
Yeah, man, I watched tape on Natividad. He has a good right hand. Took wins by KO. He beat Estrada last fight, but Smoko beat Estrada too, so that's not really saying a lot. Yeah, I got Kellher here as well. More experience. Good movement, good cardio. I mean, good pressure, good boxing, great guillotine. I mean, Natividad's probably gonna be looking to take him down. But I mean, if you take a guy down like Kellher, you better like have really good submission defense because that guillotine's really good. That straight left he hit against Azure was really nice. It really was. I mean, his boxing is improving. I know he trains with Aljo too a lot, so but I mean, Aljo's not. I mean, Aljo's a striker. I mean, he's a grappler, but I mean, he's not really like a knockout artist. But I mean, Kellher throws heat, man. Um, he's a big guy for 135 too. I believe this is 145, but yeah, I got Kellher to win this fight. Next fight, man, we got I believe a big fight for you. We have Michelle Pereira versus Zalim Imadaev. I'm gonna let you go first with this one.
Zalim Imadaev, you jobber. Yeah, dude. Like this fight. I love it. And you know what? I didn't think I would like it from a betting perspective just because of what I thought the line would be. But now that the line is what it is, I do like it from a betting perspective as well. This is my second play of the night. I got Michelle Pereira minus 110 for 3 units. Love him in this fight, man. Like, I know the first thing that people will say to me is, do you really trust this guy though? Do you trust him? Honestly, not 100%. How could you trust this guy 100%? Like, he's such a fucking wild card. Even the shit he's saying in his lead up about wrestling and grappling with fucking cows and horses. I don't know if you saw that interview. Like, this guy's a complete madman. But in my opinion, okay, so let's just run through his career. He comes into the UFC, faces Danny Hot Chocolate Roberts, Danny Hot Chocolate Roberts is no fucking slouch. He's a great striker. He's got good wins in the UFC. He even knocked out the guy that Michelle Pereira is about to fight. Like, Danny Roberts is a good fighter. So for him to come in there, show off his flips, have a little fun, and then knock him out in under 2 minutes, I mean, that was peak Michelle Pereira right there. I mean, that's what he looks like at his best. He can come in there, do all that crazy shit, and then, I mean, he can even land technical strikes as well. Like, I mean, people act like this guy is just all, he's a big show, but like, the guy is technical. The guy is a good fighter. Next fight against Tristan Connolly, obviously the fight against Danny Roberts blew up Michelle Pereira's head. Here he's thinking, oh my God, I'm fighting this guy, Tristan Connolly, a 155 pounder on short notice, some random Canadian scrub. I just knocked out Danny Roberts, who's twice the fighter this guy is. I'm going to come in here and absolutely handle Tristan Connolly. And then we all know how that turned out. Tristan Connolly was able to go out there and get the win, but I thought Michelle Pereira, like, he showed what kind of potential he has in that fight. He landed some good strikes, even landed takedowns in that fight, but definitely not a good look. He completely underestimated Connolly. He got cocky, and he took an L. And then in the Diego Sanchez fight, his most recent fight, in my opinion, he had a more serious demeanor to him. He didn't look like he was quite, being the showman that he was in his first 2 fights. It looked to me like he was coming out there, I'm not going to lose again. I'm going to come out here and beat Diego Sanchez by any means necessary. And let's be honest, he was dominating that entire fucking fight until the illegal knee. But like, I don't know. That was kind of a bad call in my opinion. Like, I don't know if you remember this, and I can't even remember the last time it happened in the UFC, but like, I can remember of fights. I think it was like it might have been like a Darren Cruikshank fight against who's that? KJ Nunes. One of those 2 guys that was involved in, like, something happened in the 3rd round of the fight, like an eye poke or something like that, and they just went to decision. Like, I forget what they call it, but if there's like 2 minutes left in the fight, they'll just make it a technical decision and just score the fight from what they saw in the first 13 minutes. And I thought they could have done something like that similar here, or just given Michelle Pereira the fucking TKO win, because that's what it looked like was about to happen anyway. And then it just happens. He hits a legal knee and he takes an L, and anybody who bet on Michelle Pereira got a loss that night. But in my opinion, this is a different fight, man, because Zalim Imadaev isn't going to be on full defense mode the entire time like Diego Sanchez. Salim Imadaev isn't a vet like Diego Sanchez. Salim Imadaev, I mean, he comes forward and gives opportunities. And if you're going to give defensively flawed opportunities to a guy as explosive and powerful as Michel Pereira, you're going to get fucking knocked out. So on the other side here, Salim Imadaev, I actually bet him in his UFC debut against Max Griffin. I was at that fight in Atlanta. I mean, the thing with me, if you guys have been watching me for a long time, I don't like Max Griffin. I don't think he's a good fighter. He's like 3-6 or 3-7 in the UFC. He's chinny. He's susceptible to being taken down. He's not good. And, you know, even if you look at Max Griffin's last 5 fights, he's 1-4 in his last 5 fights, with his only win being Salim Imadaev. And here I was thinking Salim is going to come in here. He's going to use some of that striking. He's going to knock Max Griffin out. Not how it went, man. Like, he looked all right in that fight, but like, yeah, you looked all right against a 3-6 guy. Good job. You still lost. You got taken down 6 times. Max Griffin landed big shots in the feet. Salim showed a lot of holes. And then in that fight against Danny Roberts, like, holy shit, guys. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen somebody on Twitter or our podcast this week saying, oh, Salim was winning that Danny Roberts fight and then got knocked out. Holy shit, are you wrong? Like, not at all. Like, are you kidding me? Danny Roberts was, I mean, he was landing the way better shots in the feet, looked like the way better striker. And then Salim did something I haven't seen him do, and that's fucking grapple. He was trying to wrestle Danny Roberts, which, hey, you're getting tagged on the feet against a better striker. Like, I guess, why not? Yeah, try to wrestle him. The strike is not going well, and he gets a couple takedowns, but like, Danny Roberts just shoots right back up. Salim didn't know what to do when he got Danny Roberts down. Like, I don't know. This guy's garbage, in my opinion. Like, he's flashy on the feet. Like, he throws a lot of spinning shit. He does have some power. He will go forward, but like, it's so defensively flawed. And like, you can just tell. I mean, and look at his record. I mean, he's only got 10 pro fights. We're talking about a guy with 10 pro fights. I mean, with Michel Pereira, we're talking about a guy with 34 pro fights. Like, although Michel Pereira has made some questionable decisions and he's a little untrustworthy, this right here, guys, is, I mean, this is the matchmaker's gift to Michel Pereira. I mean, you could tell they've been trying to hook him up the whole time. Like, hey, let's give him this 155-pound Canadian guy. He can get a highlight reel knockout. It doesn't happen. Let's give him Diego Sanchez. He can get a highlight reel knockout. It doesn't happen. And they hook him up here. I mean, shit, dude. If Michel Pereira can't beat this guy, I mean, holy fuck. Like, that's going to be one of the biggest disappointments ever. Because I remember when he came in against Danny Roberts, knocked him out. People were calling him the 170-pound Johnny Walker and all this shit, except, you know, obviously Johnny Walker turned out to be a fraud and all that. But I don't know, man. I think they're trying to hook Michel Pereira up here. This is like their last-ditch effort. If he can't beat this guy, that's really bad, but he should be able to beat this guy. Salim is just so hittable on the feet. I don't see him being able to wrestle here. I think if anything, Michel Pereira could land fucking takedowns if he needs to. I mean, he's much bigger. He's much stronger. He's the way better athlete, way more experience. It's just, I don't know how he's not minus 200. I'm going to stop rambling. I want to hear your thoughts on it. Michel Pereira, first-round knockout.
Speaking of Johnny Walker, I mean, he's going to absolutely fucking kill Ryan Spann. But let's talk about this matchup. Yeah, man, Salim, he's not a good fighter. He's definitely one of the worst guys in the division. He's a fraud. It's 0-2 in UFC. The Max Griffin fight, I personally thought it should have been a draw, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, the fence grab in the first round. You know, he has a good right hand. He has good pressure. I feel like he could take down Pereira, honestly. I just don't know if you can, like, go out there and fucking control him on the mat. You probably can't. Pereira is a more explosive dude. He's a bigger dude. He's the better striker. The whole Diego Sanchez thing, I mean, yeah, he was winning the whole fight. Kind of unlucky. And then the Christian Connolly fight, I mean, I thought it was a close fight early on, but then he just gassed and blew his wad, and Connolly is a tough dude and just took over. I mean, this is a close fight for me, man. I don't know. I've been going back and forth with this fight. It's hard to trust both guys. It really is. I do think that Pereira is more technical. I feel like he hits harder. I mean, he can get taken down. I don't think he can take down Salim. I actually feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like the Russian actually has better wrestling and has better cardio. If he can make this fight get out of the first, it could get interesting. But Pereira could 100% knock him out in the first round. I mean, I don't think that the Russian has a bad chin, but he just got knocked out pretty bad against Danny Hot Chocolate Roberts. And I actually disagree with you. I actually do think that he was beating Hot Chocolate until he got knocked out. So I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna go with the Russian here. I think that he's gonna survive the first round. He's gonna get him out of there, man. I'm not high on either of these guys, but I'll go with the dog. I'm not betting him. I'll tell you that. That's out of the question. So co-main event of the evening, we got OSP versus Alonzo Menifield. Yeah, man, it's a good fight. I mean, it kind of sucks that it's supposed to be like what 2 weeks ago and then rebooked. I wonder like how both their weight cuts went. I heard a lot of people said that Menifield looked really good, and I mean he's definitely slimmed down a lot. Um, it's a tough fight, dude. It really is because I mean OSP is inconsistent. He's 2-4 in his last six, but I mean they're against good fighters. I mean, come on, dude. Krylov's a legit fighter. I know he lost to Latifi. That's not a good look, but and then he lost to Reyes, and he's a fucking fighting for the belt. Um, this is a good matchup because Menifield's definitely, I feel like, is the better striking. He has more power. He has good pressure, but OSP, I mean, has better cardio, in my opinion. I mean, OSP does gas, but I feel like he has better cardio. I mean, it's common sense. He has better cardio than Menifield. OSP's chin is definitely a question mark. He's tough, but I mean, he's a little chinny, man. The grappling, though, I feel like I don't know if he's going to go out there and shoot on Menifield, but I feel like if it hits the mat, it's all OSP. I mean, the guy's guillotine. I mean, the guy's really good jiu-jitsu. I just don't know if he's going to shoot. And I feel like on the feet, he's technical. He has good kicks. He has good boxing. He's big, great movement. But Menifield, just that pressure, and I feel like he hits really hard. Has a great right hand. I think that Menifield can get him out of there. But if this fight gets hairy and gets out of the first round, OSP's going to take over. I really feel like a lot of people are counting out OSP here, and I think that he's live and he could definitely get the job done. He's more technical than Menifield. I mean, that's 100% true. It's just that first round's going to be scary because Menifield comes out like a fucking truck. But then again, man, that performance against Devin Clark was not good, dude. I mean, Devin Clark was legit fucking hurting him on the feet, dude. And Devin Clark was tagging him, and a guy like Devin Clark, who I'm not high on at all, I think he's a fucking jobber. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a good look, but Menifield is gas right bad out the first round. So I'll go with Menifield. I'll go with the first round KO, but I'm not confident at all. And like I said, OSP's live. If he makes this fight get out of the first round, he's gonna take over and get the sub. So I got Menifield, but not confident. What about you?
Yeah, man. I mean, this fight was supposed to happen 2 weeks ago, and I had a bet on Alonzo Menifield, but shit happens, man. Like, okay, so the fight got canceled. OSP tested positive for COVID, and now they're fighting here 2 weeks later. But the thing that just jumps out to me now that this fight is rebooked is, let's be honest, both guys clearly, and I mean clearly, both of them have cardio issues. And now you're telling me both of these guys are going to make two weight cuts, two really tough weight cuts for both guys, too. They're about to make two weight cuts within 2 weeks. If you're telling me that's not going to take a toll on these guys, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, because it's going to. If this fight hits the second round, like, I don't know, man. I could just see a complete slop fest, like both of these guys being gassed out in rounds 2 or 3. And honestly, I think if the fight got really sloppy and both guys are gassed, in my opinion, what I see in my mind is OSP kind of dragging it down to the mat, man. And that's where he's going to have some success. He might get a sub, but I'm going to stick with my gut. And I really do truly feel like this will be the outcome. I'm going to go with Alonzo Menifield here. I think it's just going to be too much for OSP in that, first round. So I think he comes out here, gets the biggest win of his career. OSP is just, yeah, I mean, he moved up to heavyweight like a fight or two ago. It didn't go well. Like, I don't know what the guy's doing these days. He's taking a lot of knockout losses. Give me the younger guy. Give me the better athlete, the guy who's going to have a big advantage in that first round. So I think he gets that first round knockout. And obviously with that path to victory, I mean, you got to play Alonzo Menifield on DraftKings. I know he's the favorite. He's like 8,300 on DraftKings, but if he wins, he's going to be in the optimal lineup. I mean, first round knockout with a knockdown, that's 100 points right there, and then add up whatever strikes he gets. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Alonzo Menifield. I think he wins somebody $100,000 on DraftKings this week.
Next fight, man. Main event of the evening. We got Augusto Sakai versus the Reem, Alsar Overeem. This is a close fight. I've been going back and forth in this fight. This is the one that I'm thinking about making a play. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I don't really want to fucking do it on fight day. I'll tell you that because it's chasing. But I got the dog, man. I got Sakai. It's tough, man, fading a guy like Reem right now. I mean, Reem's chin obviously is such a big fucking liability, but he showed a lot of heart about his fight because I thought he died and then he came back and fucking beat Wall Harris. He's been looking pretty good. I mean, he's 3-1 in his last four, I think, or yeah, he is. Yeah, I mean, against pretty good guys. I mean, dude, fucking Sergey Pavlovich is fucking no fucking slouch. That guy is good, and he was
He
in a
handled Sergey too, like big
and
time.
he would beat fucking what's his name, Gain. I don't think they're fighting anymore, but he would beat him. But yeah, man, Sakai is a dog. I mean, he's a good prospect. The fucking Blagoy fight is just the fight that I go back to. I'm like, not the best performance, man. I mean, it was a close fight. And I feel like I know it's so hard to put away Blagoy. He has a really good chin, but that was a close fight. He won the fight for sure, but now he's fucking making a huge step up from Blagoy to a top 5 guy in Reem. And as much as I hate on Reem's chin because it's not good at all, he's tough, man, and he's just so fucking good. His clinch game, his knees, his boxing is good, and he has a big advantage around the mat if you get down Sakai. Because let's be honest, Reem's grappling is no fucking slouch, and he's fucking big on top. He has good ground pound. I've been impressed with Reem lately, man. I mean, his chin's been held up, but I mean, obviously he got knocked out against the fucking two of the best fucking knockout artists in the division, in Rosenstruck and Ngannou. And he has a good jab too. It's a tough fight, man, for me. It really is, because like we were talking about off air, Reem has a lot of advantage in this fight. It's just the chin. It really is. But I mean, Sakai hits like a truck. He has a good right hand. He has good cardio. He has good pressure. He has good pace. I mean, Sakai has 5 rounds to knock out Reem. So I mean, I don't think Reem will knock out Sakai, but I mean, Reem is a fucking good striker. It's not like Reem sucks in the feet. He's one of the best strikers in the division. I mean, he has a lot of weapons, but and Sakai has good takedown defense. I know Blagoy took him down, I think, once, but if Blagoy can take him down, man, I feel like Reem can too. And Reem's kind of been a smart fighter lately, dude. So as much as I want to play Sakai because the fade on Reem's chin, I'm not going to do it, dude. I'm going to pick Sakai to get the job done, but I'm going to be really strict this week on my play. So just the one play on Jalen Turner. So I got Sakai with a knockout, but I'm not playing him because I think Reem could 100% win this fight. Oh yeah, one more thing about Sakai. He has good leg kicks too, but I just don't know if he's going to be throwing a lot of them because Reem is probably going to be shooting. I mean, between me and you, Reem's going to probably shoot in the first round. So I got Sakai, but yeah, I think Reem could 100% win. Who you got?
Yeah, man, I think Augusto Sakai is live, and if you went out there and got plus 150 or better on him, I know he was even plus 210 at one point. If you got plus 150 or better on Augusto Sakai in a heavyweight fight, you know, he's a good fighter. These are 2 top guys. If you got that line, I don't blame you at all, but minus 155 Overeem, plus 135 Sakai. I'm going to go ahead and say that line's accurate just because I don't know. You can't – it's hard for me to bet on Sakai here just because you got to think Overeem's better everywhere here except for, durability, like experience. He's got better striking. He's got better wrestling. He's got better jiu-jitsu. I mean, you fucking name it, man. Alistair Overeem's a real tough out for anybody. Justin mentioned it. He's like 3-1 in his last 4 fights. And even in his last fight, I mean, I don't even have to mention it, guys. The knock on Alistair Overeem is always the chin. We're always worried about the knockout. And then props to him in his last fight. He got hurt, and he survived. So, I'm not saying his chin's getting better, but, it's just nice to know that he can land a big shot and still come back and, overcome adversity, win the fight. It's just, I don't know, man. Sakai is a really tough fight. He's such a big guy. He hits hard. He's got good disciplined boxing. I don't know. I guess it would be smart for Alistair Reem to come out here and wrestle here, but I actually don't know if he's going to be able to get it, man. Just because Sakai, I don't know what Sakai weighed in at today. Let me see. I'm going to guess he's like 265 pounds. He's a really fucking big guy, and it's going to be hard for Overeem to, out wrestle a guy like that. So, I mean, really the way I see this fight playing out is definitely on the feet for the most part. And I don't see Alistair Overeem just coming out and running over Augusto Sakai in the feet. So I tend to think if Overeem wins this fight, it'll be a 25-minute unanimous decision like he was about to get over Jairzinho Rosenstrike. But you're going to tell me you're going to give Augusto Sakai 25 minutes at a chance to crack that chin at one point, which a guy with, as solid boxing as Augusto Sakai, and we're talking about heavyweights where anybody could just randomly go down at any point. Like, don't go big on Alistair Overeem here, guys. Like, I know Alistair Overeem has some real hardcore supporters, and there's guys out there that bet him almost every single time. And hey, it worked 3 out of the last 4 times, so props to you. But like, I don't know, man. Like, just don't be surprised if Alistair Overeem's dominating this fight and just get knocked out at any point within a 25-minute span. Man, if this fight was 15 minutes, I'd probably bet Alistair Overeem. But the fact that you're giving Augusto Sakai 25 minutes to find that chin, real solid boxer, up-and-coming, younger fighter, I think he has a chance to crack him. It's just, I feel like I have to pick Alistair Overeem here just because of all the advantages. I'm going to say he does get a takedown or 2 throughout the fight. He lands the better and more strikes throughout the fight. And I'll say Sakai takes a round or 2, but I'll go with Alistair Overeem, 49-46, unanimous decision.
So, yeah, there we go, guys. I just have a bet on Jalen Turner. That's it. I'm not going to bet anyone else, just Jalen Turner. I'm looking in the next week. I already have a couple of plays in mind. I've already taped a couple of fights. We already talked about off air. I mean, there's one line, I'm not going to say anything else, but once it hits plus money, I'm going to be going in. But yeah, talk about your plays for this card one more time.
Yeah, I got 2 right now. I got 3 units on Michel Pereira at -110, and I got 2 units on Jalen Turner plus 165, and then 1 bet I'm really eyeing because the line just keeps getting better. Andre Muniz, he's plus 145 right now. I might have a bet on him by the end of the day, but we'll see what happens. Definitely not going to force anything. Want to take the line that I want.
Sounds good, man. All right, guys, we'll be back next week. Everyone, please like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you guys think of every fight, who you guys got, and we'll be back next week. See you guys.